I would not actually say that the past 12 months have been easy. Um, we're still struggling with the war, and we have detractors who are bent on, derailing the revolutionary process, and this has also been a very serious situation for us. But it's been very difficult, but I think we've been on top of the situation for the past 12 months, 12 months, 12 months, 12 months, 12 months.
A coup d'état, often shortened to coup, is a sudden and unlawful seizure of governmental power by a faction within a country, typically carried out by a military or paramilitary group. It involves the overthrow of the existing government or political leadership, often accompanied by the use of force or the threat of force. During a coup d'état, the group attempting to seize power may employ various tactics, such as capturing key government buildings, military installations, or communication centers. They aim to establish control over the state apparatus, including the executive, legislative, and sometimes judicial branches of government. Coups d'état can have different motivations, such as political, ideological, or personal ambitions. The perpetrators may justify their actions by claiming to address perceived grievances, such as corruption, human rights abuses, or ineffective governance. Coups can also lead to significant political, social, and economic consequences for a country. They often disrupt the existing power structures, destabilize institutions, and can result in violence, loss of life, and human rights violations. The impact of a coup can vary widely depending on the success of the perpetrators, the response of the international community, and the subsequent actions taken by the new ruling faction. Today's episode will be discussing the 3 coups that took place in Sierra Leone after independence. The first on our list took place on March 21, 1967. General David Lansana, the commander of the Sierra Leone Armed Forces, led a military rebellion against Prime Minister Shaka Stevens. Lansana and his group of military officers claimed that Stevens' appointment as Prime Minister was unconstitutional because the elections for 12 paramount chiefs had not yet been concluded. The coup attempt took place shortly after Stevens had been declared the new Prime Minister by Sierra Leone Governor-General, Henry Josiah Lightfoot Boston. Lansana argued that the determination of office should await the election of the tribal representatives to the House. During the coup, Lansana's forces seized control of Government House, the national radio and television channels, and declared martial law in Sierra Leone. Prime Minister Stevens was arrested and detained by the rebels. However, the coup was short-lived. Just a few days later, on April 18, 1967, another group of military officers led by Lieutenant Colonel John Amadou Bangura staged a counter-coup against Lansana's rebel forces. This counter-coup led to the arrest and imprisonment of Lansana and the restoration of Stevens as Prime Minister. The events surrounding the March 21, 1967 coup attempt were significant in Sierra Leone history as they marked a period of political instability and set the stage for future political developments in the country. The second coup took place, April 29, 1992, coordinated by Captain Valentine Strasser. The coup overthrew the government of President Joseph Saidu Mormor. Captain Strasser, at the age of 25, took control of the government and established the National Provisional Ruling Council, NPRC. The coup was initially welcomed by the population, as it promised to address corruption, economic mismanagement, and political instability. Strasser's government implemented economic reforms and attempted to restore order in the country. However, Strasser's regime faced criticism for human rights abuses, and internal power struggles within the NPRC created further instability. The coup set the stage for a prolonged period of political and military unrest, leading to a devastating civil war that started in 1991 and lasted for over 10 years. Joseph Saidu Morma's presidency, which lasted from 1985 to 1992, was marked by economic challenges, political instability, and allegations of corruption. After his overthrow, Morma's political influence waned, and he did not regain significant prominence in Sierra Leonean politics. His legacy remains a subject of debate and evaluation in the context of the country's history. The final coup took place January 16, 1996, and was coordinated by Brigadier General Julius Maada Bio. This coup overthrew the government of his superior Captain Valentine Strasser. Bio accused Strasser of straying from the NPRC's original objectives, leading to the coup against his regime. Brigadier General Julius Maada Bio became the head of state, and the NPRC was dissolved. Bio's government initiated a transition towards democracy, paving the way for multi-party elections in Sierra Leone. The transition period faced significant challenges, including the continuation of the civil war and political instability. Eventually, Bio handed power to an elected civilian government, marking a shift towards democratic governance in Sierra Leone. These successful coups, along with the subsequent periods of instability, had profound impacts on Sierra Leonean political, economic, and social development. They contributed to the erosion of democratic institutions, increased corruption, and prolonged conflicts, leaving the country grappling with significant challenges in the years that followed. Subscribe for more content from Salone Archives.